Hello, I'm back. I'm lagging on my end. I'm having issues with StreamYard, and this is not good because I have a bunch of lives planned for today, but I'm lagging on my end. Am I lagging on your end? Hello, hello, everyone. Happy hump day. I tried to give it a minute, but I don't think it's getting better on my end. So I don't want to continue if it's not going to be decent. Um, yeah, I don't know what the hell is up with StreamYard lately. Wait, he was back in court? Yes, he was back in court today. I see you and hear you. It's lagging a little bit. Um, it is lagging. Yes, I see you, hear you. Ugh. I'm hoping that as the live goes on, it's not that bad. Not too bad. Yeah, I don't understand what the hell is going on with StreamYard. I did see Patty say people have been having problems with StreamYard. Yeah, I have. Maybe I need to restart though, and I haven't done that in a minute. So lagging a bit. Um, I don't want it to be lagging. So let me say hello to everyone. Welcome back. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. If it's still lagging by the time I say hi to everyone, we'll just end it and I'll have to reschedule it and try to figure something out. But let me see if I come back in. Hold on. Okay. I don't know if that helps it sometimes. Yes, improving. Audio is fine though. So it's just like the lag. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what StreamYard's problem is, but they need to figure their shit out. So let's just hope we can get through the live like this. Yes, improving. Good on my end, really. The audio's fine. Yeah, I figured the audio's fine, just not the lagging. Um, I'm trying to think if there's something else I can do while I'm on live, but I don't think so. I might need to just restart my whole computer. Let me share. Good on my end. It's still showing lagging on my end, so I was hoping it would get better. Thank you, Laura. Good on my end. Yeah, I think maybe if you guys refresh, it might be a little better on your end, but it's not the best on my end. But I think we could do it, maybe. Mm, I don't know what the hell is going on with StreamYard. I really don't. It looks like it is. It looks like it is what? Like it's fine on your end now? I'm hoping that as the live goes on, it'll be clear, it'll be good, but um it looks like it is. Yeah. Um it's lagging on my end, so I don't know. Let's just continue. I think it'll get better as the live goes. Hey Robert, let me say hi to everyone real quickly. Hopefully it gets better. I saw Asane, I saw Evie, I saw Tippy, I saw Vanjie, hello, hello, Laura, Crees, hello, hello, Ramon, Robert, Patty, and the Natty, PR Diva, hello, babes. I saw Pizza Hut in here. Rhonda, hello, Debbie, hello, Abuelitas. I think your audio sounds good. Thank you for hitting the like button. It just looks like you're having a small seizure. I don't want it to do that. I don't want it to do that. I want to restart the live. Um, hmm. Shall we restart? Let me go out and come back in. 1 second. Okay. Let's see. I hope it's a little better now. Sorry, guys. Is it? It seems like it's a little better. Um, Perfect. Okay, yeah, it looks a little better on my end now that I went out and came back in. Yeah, it does. Okay, that's good. I think I did something to it. Okay. Wow. Finally. Wow, 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 wow. You're fine, Melly. Thank you. Okay. Yes, we are here. Welcome back. Thank you guys for being patient with me. You know what I want? I want to fight StreamYard. So maybe we can stream that fight. Yes, it's better. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I figured it would be. We're going to be doing an update on the Nick Reiner situation. Nick Reiner, if you don't know, is being accused of slitting both of his parents' throats. I'm going to read you guys a little bit of an article right now. And then we'll get into the hearing, which isn't very long at all. And then there's like a little 10-minute press conference. If you don't know Nick Reiner, he is the one who stabbed, allegedly slit his parents' throat, and he is the son of a very famous producer, I believe, an actor. And Alan Jackson was his attorney up until this morning. Alan Jackson is the infamous Alan Jackson from Karen Reed case. So there was a hearing, like I said, this morning. We're going to go right through it, and I'll read a little bit of this article first. It says Alan Jackson, the high power attorney representing Nick Reiner and the stabbing death of his parents, producer, director, and actor Rob Reiner, and the photographer Michelle Reiner, withdrew from the case this morning. Reiner will now be represented by a public defender. Wearing a brown jumpsuit, Reiner, age 32, didn't enter a plea during the brief hearing. A judge has rescheduled his arraignment for February 23rd. Following the hearing, defense attorney Alan Jackson told a throng of reporters that Reiner is not guilty of murder. Quote unquote, we've investigated this matter top to bottom, back to front. What we've learned, and you can take this to the bank, is that pursuant to the law of the state, pursuant to the law in California, Nick Reiner is not guilty of murder. So Alan Jackson said this before he quit, which I don't understand. Reiner's charged with first-degree murder with special circumstance in the stabbing deaths of his parents, his father Rob, 78, and his mom Michelle, 70. The LA coroner ruled that the two died from injuries inflicted by a knife. The charges carry a maximum sentence of death. LA County District Attorney Nathan Hochman said he has not decided whether he's going to seek the death penalty or not. We will watch that press conference. It's very short. Last month, after Reiner's initial court appearance, Jackson said that there are very small, complex, and serious issues that are associated with this case. These need to be thoroughly but very carefully dealt with and examined and looked at and analyzed. We ask that during this process, you allow the system to move forward, not with a rush to judgment, not with jumping to conclusions. The young Reiner had a long history of substance abuse and attempts at rehabilitations. His parents had become increasingly alarmed about his behavior in the weeks before the killings. Legal experts say there is a possibility that Reiner's legal team could attempt to use an insanity defense. The jury sets a very high bar on the defendant because it understands that it will release him from legal responsibility. The burden of proof is on the defense in an insanity case, and the jury may see the defense as an excuse for committing serious crime. So Alan Jackson is no longer his attorney, and that's really wild. I have questions about this because maybe he withdrew because he couldn't pay the lawyer. That's what I was thinking, but Alan Jackson doesn't always do things based on a monetary value. Alan Jackson's a very high profile, very, very good defense attorney. He is up there. And I don't even think he fully got paid from Karen Reed. And that's just my opinion. I don't know if Karen Reed could ever had paid him back enough, but I have a lot of questions and concerns about is it the money? Is it maybe an issue with the family? Because who was paying for Alan Jackson, right? And then is it something to do with the insanity plea? I just feel like it's an important case, and I hope that the hearings and the trial is televised because it does bring in the aspects of mental health, wealth, and fame. And so, or maybe he just couldn't agree with Nick. That's always a possibility too. Like maybe Nick was like, maybe Alan was like, you have to take this plea deal or something. And then maybe Nick said, no, I don't want you being my attorney. I mean, we don't really know what happened. He just came on allegedly to this hearing and he basically quit there. And what I'm hearing is that the family didn't even know. So he literally announced it, I think, at this hearing that he wasn't going to be his attorney. So I'm not sure. I have not watched it. Let me know let me know what you think while we are watching it. I'm gonna pull up the hearing now that I have better connection. And shout out to you guys for being here. Please hit the like button. Um, oh, sorry, not Lauren. You guys aren't here for Lauren Hidden True Crime. What the? Okay. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Um, oh shit. Hold on, let me go back. I need to start it over. And this is from this morning. Ooh. Mm, really? I thought his family was paying for all of it. No? Yeah, I don't know. I've heard though he has taken some cuts. What's going on here? I don't understand why I'm not hearing anything here with this lady talking. Is she just not talking at all? What the hell? Oh, maybe not.
People versus Nick Reiner, case number 25 CJC F08-098.
Good morning, Your Honor. Alan Jackson, on behalf of Mr. Reiner, who is present in court out of custody. I'm sorry, in custody.
Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor. 𝐵𝐸𝐲𝐬𝐿 for the people.
Your Honor, we have a matter of housekeeping that I'd like to address in chambers in dealing with the 10 subpoenas that are outstanding. There are 10 current subpoenas that are
Put on your headphones because I know the audio isn't the best.
outstanding. We would ask that body attachments be issued and held for each of the 10, specifically with subpoena number 4 on the list and subpoena number 10 on the list. Counsel for both of those individuals or those parties have appeared in court. They're here with us today. We have no principled objection to an extension of time for them to comply with the subpoena, but to maintain jurisdiction, we would ask that body attachments be issued.
I don't have a list. I'd like to get a copy, and I haven't seen the proof of service, but I assume the court.
Did counsel for 4 and 10 present?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm not sure which number I am.
Number 10.
I'm counsel for number 10, and we do object to issue if that would resolve the court's concerns about retaining jurisdiction. However, we see no reason, given our appearance and the fact that we are here to issue a rule of body attachment.
And counsel for number 4?
In council number 10's statement, I don't see the necessity for issuing a body attachment. I too will stipulate the jurisdiction without necessarily waiving any objections we ultimately may make. But given my newness to the matter, I don't see the necessity of having a court order issued against an individual in those circumstances.
Fair enough.
Thank you, Your Honor. And just to be clear, we do also reserve all of our objections.
Yes, and so, but as to the remaining numbers, that's 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 8, those, the court will issue body attachment and hold it until the next court date.
And
And
we have no objection to council's recommendations, given the fact that both have graciously submitted to jurisdiction with regard to 4 and 10. We think that's appropriate.
thank you. Once again, the court will issue and hold the read 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9
Thank you.
until the next hearing date. And we'll
Does the
seal,
court have a list?
it does, the court will seal that list as well.
We've asked,
People have a copy or?
we've asked that the court seal it specifically because it is ongoing defense investigative data or evidence that we recover or we get. Our counsel, on behalf of Mr. Reiner, gets, and that is discoverable. We'll comply with our counsel will comply with all discovery obligations at that time.
Take, address the council's request to provide a copy to the people.
That's the point. We think that should not be done because that would implicate ongoing investigative efforts by the defense. And it would compromise Mr. Reiner's right to a fair trial and his right to maintain his investigation with some level of confidence or confidentiality, I should say.
So at this time, the court will just seal it until the next court hearing date.
Thank
And how else would you proceed?
Your Honor, at this time, I, on behalf of Workman Jackson and Quinn, and with Mr. Reiner's understanding and consent, would ask to withdraw as counsel of record based on the conversation that we've had in chambers and the explanation that we've provided to the court in chambers. We feel that we have no choice at this juncture but to withdraw as counsel and ask to be relieved. The Public Defender's Office has been notified. We've had conversations with them. They are here. They're staffed. They're ready to take over. My understanding is they are ready for the appointment immediately, forthwith.
Good morning, Your Honor. Kimberly Green from the Public Defender's Office. That is correct.
This is crazy. How do you go from this lawyer to a public defender? Is insane. Wow.
So the court will case, and so that firm is relieved as counsel of record, and the court appoints the public defender's office to represent Mr. Reiner.
Thank you.
Current counsel turnover, any items that they received.
We will absolutely comply with that. We've already begun the obligation has been met.
Your Honor, there's a protective order issued by the court in place regarding the handling of discovery order that's remaining in place for now, and we'll serve a copy of that on the Public Defender's Office along with the discovery we provide.
Yes, the court will order that order.
Me from Mr. Bailey raises a very sage point. I'm under a protective order not to provide our discovery to anybody else. That would text providing the information only to Ms. Green in her office. Then I can be in full compliance with the protective order.
Anything to the people, any response to that request?
No problem. I believe the protective order spells out that it covers Mr. Jackson's firm as well as any successor counsel.
Thank you.
What?
Provide everything to Ms. Green.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything further? Back on the record in People versus Nick Reiner, case number 25 CJC F08098.
Good morning. Kimberly Green here at the Public Defender's Office on behalf of Mr. Reiner, who again is present.
Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor. 𝐤𝐸𝐴𝐲𝐬𝐞, representing the people of the state of California.
Thank you.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, we'd ask to put over the arraignment one last time to February 23rd, if that date is appropriate.
That date is fine, the court.
Thank you, and I will work with Ms. Green to get her discovery prior to that date.
I'll take a waiver for you. Entitled, you have a constitutional statutory right to a speedy arraignment. Your counsel, Ms. Green from the Public Defender's Office, is requesting that your arraignment be continued to February the 23rd, 2026. In this department, do you waive your right to be arraigned today so that your matter may be continued to February 23rd, 2026 for arraignment?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Thank you. Is counsel joining that waiver?
I do, Your
The
Honor.
court finds that the defendant has made a knowing and intelligent waiver of his right to a speedy arraignment, and that his counsel of record joins in that waiver. Matter set for arraignment in this department, February 23rd, 2026. Bail remains at no bail. Anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm confused how he's gonna go and make a statement. This is crazy. This is crazy, crazy, crazy. Why didn't the lawyer just say conflict of interest instead of this mysterious dramatic withdrawal? He has to come out and publicly state he thinks he's not guilty because Reiner would look guilty with if his lawyer dumped him. I wonder if maybe he just got enough of the evidence after the fact as well, and Alan Jackson's like, no, he doesn't want to take a plea deal. You know what I mean? He probably, because remember that day when he took on the case, he was like, we're going to fight for him and all tough and whatnot. And then now he's like, oh, never mind. So I'm wondering if he just actually got to review everything. And I'm wondering what's in those medical records, what's in a tox report for Nick Reiner. I wonder how bad it is.
We're ready. So calling People versus Nick Reiner, case number 25 CJC F08098.
Good morning, Your Honor. Alan Jackson, on behalf of Mr. Reiner, who is present in court out of custody. I'm sorry, in custody.
Oh, so this is like a replay of it. They're repeating it. I want to get to the press conference because I'm freaking out. Damn. Sorry, guys. Oh, here we go. He wouldn't dump a client if he thought he was guilty.
Good morning. As you know, my name is Alan Jackson. This morning, I had to withdraw as Nick Reiner's counsel. Circumstances beyond our control, but more importantly, circumstances beyond Nick's control have dictated that, sadly, it's made it impossible for us to continue our representation of Nick. I'm legally and I'm ethically prohibited from explaining all the reasons why. I know that's a question on everybody's mind. We expect the public defender to step in. They've already been appointed and very capably protect Nick Reiner's interests as he moves forward through the system. But be clear, be very, very clear about this. My team and I remain deeply, deeply committed to Nick Reiner and to his best interests. In fact, we know, we're not just convinced, we know that the legal process will reveal the true facts of the circumstances surrounding this case, Nick's case.
What?
You know, a lot's been printed of late, over the last 3 weeks. A lot has been printed about Nick, printed about his family, printed about the circumstances. Speculation is in print. On December 15th, in the early morning hours, I was in New York at the time, and I got a call. Me and my team, we dropped everything. And for the last 3 weeks, we have devoted literally every waking hour to protecting Nick and his interests. We've investigated this matter top to bottom, back to front. What we've learned, and you can take this to the bank,
What?
is that pursuant to the laws of this state, pursuant to the law in California, Nick Reiner is not guilty of murder. Print that. Print the very, very best moving forward. And that's all I have today.
Oh my gosh.
And another thing.
That's really wild. Pursuant to the laws, I wonder if it is what I'm saying. Maybe the evidence just proved something else. And maybe Nick and whoever's helping him pay couldn't jump on that same bandwagon as Jackson. I don't know. I don't see the money thing being an issue. I really don't. I think Alan Jackson would have taken this case if it meant it would have boosted him even higher in the field of law. Alan Jackson has money. He does well. He's very prominent. Maybe the family did cut him off. I don't know. Maybe the family was supporting him until they looked into it. Didn't he lose money on Karen Reed? Yeah. I've heard he did. A defendant looks very guilty when a lawyer backs out. Yeah, I don't understand. I'm wondering if maybe, yeah, it's something to do with he wins most of his trials he didn't want to lose. But also, guys, like, you can't have a public defender if you have money. I don't know. And I feel like, is it something to do with the insanity thing? You know, those cases are tough. They're tough and there's a lot involved. Let's watch this. This is a 5-minute. I want to watch when the DA talks. So let me share that screen. We're going to watch it again. Wow. And if it was about the money, why wouldn't that have been something that he would have resolved prior to even saying anything? You know, like being such a high prominent lawyer, like you would have looked into that, right? The funds and the money situation before getting involved and going through the evidence and the discovery. Nah, Karen Reed just has civil things going on now. There's really weird things going on in Hollywood. Maybe something just happened to him when he was a kid, just thinking. Wow. Let's watch this clip again with Alan Jackson. And I think this is where the DA comes up too and talks.
As you know, my name is Alan Jackson. This morning, I had to withdraw as Nick Reiner's counsel. Circumstances beyond our control, but more importantly, circumstances beyond Nick's control have dictated that, sadly, it's made it impossible for us to continue our representation of Nick. I'm legally and I'm ethically prohibited from explaining all the reasons why. I know that's a question on everybody's mind. We expect the public defender to step in. They've already been appointed and very capably protect Nick Reiner's interests as he moves forward through the system. But be clear, be very, very clear about this. My team and I remain deeply, deeply committed to Nick Reiner and to his best interests. In fact, we know, we're not just convinced, we know that the legal process will reveal the true facts of the circumstances surrounding this case, Nick's case. You know, a lot's been printed of late, over the last 3 weeks. A lot has been printed about Nick, printed about his family, printed about the circumstances. Speculation is in print. On December 15th, in the early morning hours, I was in New York at the time, and I got a call. Me and my team, we dropped everything. And for the last 3 weeks, we have devoted literally every waking hour to protecting Nick and his interests. We've investigated this matter top to bottom, back to front.
Someone said, how is he not guilty? I was thinking maybe it had something to do with the insanity thing. can't wait to find out though. Maybe there was something in his parents' will. I could see that too. I don't think Nick necessarily has the money himself anymore, especially since his parents were murdered. He's committed, but he's quitting. Yeah, I know. Wow.
What we've learned, and you can take this to the bank, is that pursuant to the laws of this state, pursuant to the law in California, Nick Reiner is not guilty of murder. Print that. Print that.
Good morning. My name is Nathan Hochman. I'm the District Attorney of Los Angeles County. With me is 𝐣𝐨𝐬𝐬𝐞𝐿. He is the Assistant Head Deputy of Major Crimes. He will be prosecuting this case. I'm here to make 3 points, and then I will not be taking questions afterwards. In our criminal justice system, every defendant is entitled to a lawyer who will zealously represent their interests and do so effectively. So too is Nick Reiner, whether it's Alan Jackson, someone from the Public Defender's Office, or any lawyer. He's entitled to that lawyer, and we'll make sure he gets that lawyer. Second point, in the process of dealing with that lawyer, we will make sure, the DA's office will make sure, that lawyer is provided with full discovery of all the facts that pertain to this particular situation, whether it's interviews, whether it's any type of video, whether it's any type of expert reports. We'll make sure that that lawyer gets the facts necessary to effectively represent their client in a court of law. And third point, we are fully confident that a jury will convict Nick Reiner beyond a reasonable doubt of the brutal murders of his parents, Rob Reiner and Michelle Reiner, and do so unanimously.
So Alan Jackson saying he's not guilty, and then the DA is saying that they are absolutely sure they will convict him.
Thank you very much.
I spoke to him briefly this morning, but we haven't had a chance to discuss anything. I spoke to Mr. Reiner briefly this morning. He was understanding that there was going to be a change in counsel. We haven't had any in-depth conversation. I have not.
His former attorney says he's not guilty. Will he be pleading not guilty?
We'll discuss that with Mr. Reiner and see how to proceed.
Does Alan's decision complicate the case for you?
Not at this time. It's not uncommon for private counsel to turn over cases to us, so no, but nothing about that would complicate the situation. I have talked to him for only 30 seconds this morning, so no, I have no idea. I only spoke to Mr. Reiner for about 30 seconds this morning. I have no comment about his mental state. I have not. We've had no contact with the family. I don't think they were aware that this was going on until this morning.
So Alan Jackson didn't even tell the family he was backing out. This was his announcement. I think you're right with the insanity plea. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I think that there was something maybe Nick. Wow. I just said this is called which prevents accessing his parents' money. Maybe his tox report and the evidence shows something, you know? I mean, yeah, he has been seeing a shrink often in medications. Yeah, but also, did you guys ever like think about the video of him in the gas station after the murders? Like, did anybody think that was sus? Because how do you go from slitting your parents' throats to a gas station and he doesn't even look worried, scared. He doesn't look high. He doesn't look like he's having a manic episode. He looks perfectly normal in that gas station. No blood on him, no panicking. I mean, if you would have done that, I sure as hell would not be going into the gas station if I just slit two people's throats. I would probably be looking to get out of the country. Because even that route is guilty by insanity, still guilty. I hope he wasn't hurt when he was little and traumatized to the point. That's what I was thinking. I said that in the prior live too. I said, we don't know his childhood. We're just going based off of the media and what they tell us. But just like people don't know our true childhood and our past experiences, no one can speak for that, you know? Beatrice is not trying to create any conspiracy theories, but this case is getting weirder and weirder. The only way he's innocent, and I wouldn't even say innocent, would be if they're planning to use the mental health aspect. That's hard though, because how are you gonna show that you are insane when you went to kill your parents and then you went to the gas station and you weren't acting insane? I think there's probably a lot more to the story. He probably killed them, but for what reason? This goes deep. Yeah, and I'm curious, like, what's in the will? I'm curious, you know, if he was already sick and his parents were helping him for so long, I wonder if there's maybe something in the will related to mental health. No one knows what happened behind closed doors. Exactly. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
At this point in time, Ms. Green will look into the case. She'll speak with Mr. Reiner. And if you have any further questions, reach out to our media team once we have more information ourselves. This just happened today, and my understanding is he was aware of it. Ms. Green spoke with him, as you heard. And as soon as we have more information that we can share, we will share.
Wow. Are you saying like a Mendez situation? Yeah, I was saying like a Mendez situation. I'm shook. I did read an article that he was upset visibly. Okay, yeah, here it is. Let me pull up this article. We'll go through this article, and then I have a 3-minute clip, and then I have a 2-minute clip on like little updates. But this article here says, let me share my screen. It says he was visibly upset in court, Nick, when he found out that Alan Jackson was stepping down. I can't wait to find out more. Well, the thing is are we going to be able to freaking be able to see the hearings and the trial, you know, or is it going to be no media, no cameras? So this article here says Nick Reiner with the newly shaven head on the verge of tears as he appears for arraignment over parents' killing. Here's a drawing of him. What is all these ads, dude? It says arrived in court with a newly shaven head and appeared visibly emotional. Facing 2 counts of first-degree murder, Alan Jackson withdrew from the case. Nick appeared in court with a newly shaved head as he arrived for his arraignment on murder charges regarding the slayings of his parents, who were found dead in their Brentwood, LA home on December the 14th. Wore a khaki jumpsuit and a 5 o'clock shadow to the arraignment in LA on Wednesday as he arrived with attorney Alan Jackson. His hands remained cuffed as he sat through the hearing, during which Jackson withdrew from the case, and Nick was reassigned to a public defender. Nick, who appeared on the verge of tears during his appearance in court, waived his right to finish his arraignment today, and the court proceedings were rescheduled to February 23rd. People confirmed that on Monday, January 5th, that Nick was no longer on S-Watch at the Twin Towers Correctional Facility in LA. He was previously placed under heightened supervision when he entered the jail system on December the 15th. He had been in solitary confinement in the weeks since he was arrested in the connection of his parents' death. In solitary confinement, he is required to wear a jail-issued shirt and blue pants, according to the sheriff's office. The jail has removed the S prevention smock he was previously required to wear at all times and wore during his first court appearance. Oh my God. Every time I see a picture of them, I just think like, Why would you do that? Nick faces 2 counts of first-degree murder. Okay, we already read that part. Multiple sharp force injuries. Nathan Hochman, I think I said Hodgman earlier, but in the press conference, he said Hochman, I believe. The district attorney is also pursuing a murder conviction with special circumstance, a designation that could make Nick eligible for death penalty or life in prison without parole. Special circumstance? Thanks, Jakey. Right. The Menendez brothers could not collect because of the statute in California. That's the reason why Reiner is not going to be able to collect any money. What? In the years leading up to their deaths, there were signs of concern in the Reiner home. Police previously responded to welfare checks at the LA home. In 2018, officers went to the home twice while their son Nick was living there, once for a call coded as a welfare check, once for a call classified as mental health related. I wonder if just everything is true at once. He has mental health issues and maybe considering something that had happened in the past. Maybe he's done something. I think someone in the chat said that. Someone said maybe he's done this before. I guess B12 says, I guess it could happen, but hard to believe he did this just because he's an entitled drug addict. I agree with that too. That does sound crazy to even act calm after you killed your parents. That to me even proven he's really crazy. I find that crazy. Maybe we'll pull up the video right now. He looks perfectly fine. Like he didn't commit anything. Look, he didn't just slash 2 people in the throat, his parents. Here's a picture of him, the drawing, the sketches. Nick was reportedly being treated for schizophrenia before the death of his parents. Both LA Times and KNBC reported that Nick was being treated with medication for mental illness. Schizophrenia is widely misunderstood but treatable condition characterized by symptoms of psychosis. Ah, man, this is crazy case. A lawyer doesn't dump a client because they have mental health issues. I know. That's why I'm saying, like, I wonder what's in the evidence and then the discovery. They wouldn't let him out of their sight. No, they wouldn't let him out of their sight. That he even had to go to a freaking holiday party with him, with his parents, because they wouldn't let him out of the sight. Okay, let's play this clip. It's about an email Rob Reiner's wife, Michelle, sent before the murders. So let me play this.
Angeles home December 14th. The late activist sent an email to Nick come to light. Hours before she and her husband, Rob Reiner, were found dead in their Los Angeles home December 14th, the late activist sent an email to Nannon Williams, an inmate currently appealing his murder conviction, whom the couple developed a close companionship with after seeing the stage play lyrics from Lockdown, inspired by his letters from prison in 2016. In fact, the Reiners, whose son Nick Reiner was formally charged with their murders December 16th, attended a performance of the play with friends, as well as members of Williams' family, just 2 days before their bodies were discovered, according to NBC News. Michelle described the evening in her last correspondence with him, which he received via his state-issued tablet, per the outlet. She wrote in the December 13th email obtained by NBC News, "I'm sure you have heard from Tara, but the show last night was amazing." Michelle also expressed optimism that Williams, who was serving a sentence of life without parole for the 1992 murder of Adonis Collier after initially receiving the death penalty, would one day see the production himself, telling him, "We all said that we couldn't wait to watch it with you."
So so messages between her and a freaking inmate. So his mom was communicating with an inmate. Interesting. I just had a thought. If Jackson thought he was innocent, then he would have gotten his inheritance after he was declared innocent and then paid. Just a thought. That's also very true. I had a very good friend who unfortunately did something to his mother. You never know, though, it could happen out of his mind on drugs. Whoa.
She ended the email saying, "Hope you're doing well. Love you, Michelle." In an interview published January 5th, Williams, who has maintained his innocence, told NBC News from prison that the Reiners became, quote, "an integral part of my life over the last decade," adding, quote, "they became a part of me." Meanwhile, Nick faces 2 counts of first-degree murder with a special circumstance of multiple murders, which carry a maximum sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole or the death penalty. He has yet to enter a plea and is set to be arraigned in Los Angeles Superior Court January 7th.
Wow. That is really so sad. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Probably some big affair. Jackson doesn't want to touch this fire. I think there's too much. I think there's a lot. Maybe the money thing is an issue. Maybe all things can be true at once. Maybe the money thing, maybe the insanity plea. Maybe Jackson believes somebody else is involved. Maybe they believe he is insane, maybe not insane. I'm a little bit shook about this case as of this morning. Okay, I have one more little clip that I want to play for you guys. Yeah, they're definitely going to make a documentary about this. I'm a little bit sensitive when it comes to like the mental health aspect of this. Like, I just really hope that they really do figure it out. And I hope that he really does get the help he needs mentally, because that I've struggled with mental health before, and it's a terrible thing. It's very complicated. Okay, let's watch this clip. I shall tell you guys my story one day soon. Maybe soon.
Allegedly murdering his parents, famed director Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle. He is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder while using a deadly weapon, with a maximum sentence of life in prison or even the death penalty. Fox News contributor and criminal defense attorney Josh Ritter joins me now. And Josh, TMZ is reporting that doctors diagnosed Nick with schizophrenia and that the medications he was on were making him erratic. When I hear that, it sounds like the defense is leaking to the media to set up an insanity defense. What say you?
I think you're absolutely right. It is kind of convenient that TMZ does to have all of this reporting about his mental state. And I think it's pretty obvious that that's the way that they're going with this, but I don't think it's going to be as easy a path as they might imagine, because when it comes down to a criminal insanity defense, for the purposes of the law and what is considered insane criminally, you have to prove that someone not just was suffering from some sort of mental illness or defect, but that caused them to not be able to appreciate the consequences of their actions, that they were literally so untethered to reality that they didn't know what they were doing or couldn't appreciate the ramifications of what they were doing, that it was either...
Okay, but I paused because he knew what he was doing. He went to the gas station. He went and got a hotel. So then he's not insane. And if it was an episode, he really just snapped out of it. You know what I mean? I mean, it could be possible. Maybe he really did and just blacked out.
They're morally or criminally wrong. And here, maybe he was suffering from schizophrenia. Maybe he was having issues with his medications, but he also fled the scene. He also went to a second location, and it looks like he washed up. He also appeared to be attempting to evade capture. All of those are the signs of a person who appreciates the consequences of their actions. So they're going to have their hands full.
And all those things that you just said are things that the prosecution will say as they try to prove their case in chief. Some interesting news came out of yesterday. Nick Reiner reportedly been removed from suicide watch ahead of his arraignment, but he is still being monitored. What do you make of that decision to reportedly remove him from suicide watch?
You know, initially when he came in, we don't know what mental state he was in. He was probably still, you know, in a very kind of post-traumatic state. Who knows, too, what narcotics he might have still been under the influence of at the time that he was arrested. So it's I can imagine that they, as a precaution, may have put him into some sort of suicide prevention protocol. Now it will be interesting to see what happens this morning, because we expect for him to enter a plea and be formally arraigned. That has not taken place yet. But it could be that his attorneys may declare doubt as to his competency, if they're really concerned with his mental state and his ability to appreciate the proceedings and what's going on. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what we hear this morning as well.
So is it maybe that he's too insane? Or premeditated? Maybe Alan Jackson really does believe he's insane, and I don't know that Nick would have a say, I guess. Does he have a diagnosis for schizophrenia? I don't understand a lawyer dumping you because of an insanity plea. I never heard of such a thing. That cannot be real whatsoever. There's something, you guys. There's something. Something came out in that discovery. Both said irony. I think there's a lot. It could have been something with the drugs he was on. It could have been maybe stuff they found in his phone. Maybe he had been plotting this. Maybe they believe he's absolutely insane.
So if I'm hearing you and reading between the lines, this might not be your run-of-the-mill arraignment where people show up, it takes 30 seconds, and we move on. There could be some legal maneuvering today we will be watching. Josh Ritter, as always.
Oh my gosh, this is insane. The other one you said. Jackson has the inside info and doesn't want anything to do to it. He survived Karen Reed, so what would cause him? I agree with you, B12. Money isn't the issue here. I wholeheartedly believe that Jackson would have taken this case, even if it involved an insanity plea. I think Jackson is capable of that. He has dealt with cases like this before. There's something that came out in the discovery, or maybe something with the family. The remaining family. So facing murder charges, overwhelming stress. Okay. How does California define legal insanity? California applies the rule to determine legal insanity, which focuses on whether the defendant could understand the nature of their actions at the time of the alleged crime. The standard differs significantly from a medical diagnosis of mental illness. According to California law, a person is legally insane if they either could not understand what they were doing or could not distinguish right from wrong to a mental disease or defect. Okay, so they're saying there's a difference between mental illness and insanity here. I tend to agree, but something is tying his hands. I agree. That's what I'm saying. Something, maybe the family, maybe... I also heard something about Penny Marshall's daughter is involved. Can't remember where I heard that. Yeah, I think he would take the case if there was an... I think so too. What mental health conditions qualify for an insanity defense? Courts recognize several serious mental illnesses that may support an insanity defense. Schizophrenia and psychotic disorders can cause delusions or hallucinations that completely distort reality. So there it is. He has schizophrenia. I wonder if he had planned this and there's proof of it though. Yeah, Reiner family has generations of odd behaviors and secrets. I have started looking into some of them. I just don't want to come off like being an ass, Severe bipolar is with psychotic features may create extreme manic states. Major depressive disorder with psychotic features can lead to severe impairment in judgment and perception. Documentation of mental illness alone does not establish legal insanity. The defense must demonstrate a direct connection between the mental condition and the defendant's inability to understand their actions or appreciate their wrongfulness. I'm curious. Let's see. A lawyer might drop an insanity case in California if the client isn't cooperative, if evidence doesn't support the defense, or if there's a conflict of interest, or if the client's actions undermine the case, like withholding crucial info or refusing treatment. I'm shook. Hey, ATS, good to see you, girl. Y'all know you can't get a public defender if you have money, right? I'm looking that up now because I'm curious. No, if you're wealthy in California, you generally cannot get public defender, as they are for the indigent poor individuals who cannot afford private counsel. Though eligibility depends on the court's assessments of your total financial picture, a judge decides if you qualify based on financial statements, et cetera, et cetera. If they have enough financial assets to afford private counsel, they are not eligible to be represented by a public defender. Interesting. Maybe he don't have shit, you know? Maybe he did have a will and it no longer is active because of what's happened. Maybe he didn't have a will at all. Maybe his parents were like, fuck that. He does all these drugs. We can't get him any help. He doesn't get any better. I think that's what I'm thinking. Some conflict of interest or something came up in the discovery that Alan Jackson's like, I can't beat that, or maybe it's a moral thing and he's not allowed to say. But Alan Jackson's, I mean, if you can hire anyone, if I ever need a criminal attorney, I would love to hire Alan Jackson. What drugs was he on? I don't even know that they have said, right? What he was on. We haven't seen the tox report. I mean, it could probably be freaking. They're saying Nick's early struggles with substances include the H and the C, Coca-Cola. Ooh, doing that H, man. He was in early rehab programs as early as age 15. Okay, but I always need to look at the other end of it. What caused these issues? People, unless he was born that way, which there should be proof. You know, Brian Walsh, let's do that. Good example. Brian Walsh was diagnosed as a psychopath from the age of like 4. So we already knew from the age of 4 that he was a psychopath. And I'm just wondering about Nick's mental health as a child. And I'm wondering what makes people become this. Was it just fame and money and he had access to everything? So he's partying and doing drugs? Was there something that happened to him in his early childhood because of the fame and success? I need to look at both sides. It's only fair. Reiner has also become heavily involved in politics. This was my thing. I was thinking about this earlier, B12. A lot of shady people surrounding them. Okay, and when I heard that Alan Jackson said he's innocent, that came to my mind. It did, I won't lie. I thought, maybe it wasn't Nick Reiner and he was just there getting high, and maybe somebody else, or maybe someone that Nick Reiner was involved with. Maybe he owed money to somebody. He was heavy in drugs. You never know. No one jokes. Yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah. The jokes on Comedy Central roast are offensive. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. Wow. Wow. I'm curious to see February Did they say 26th or 23rd? I think 26th. February 26th. And I wonder how much we'll get access to. It's a very high profile case. It's California. With his mental health conditions, maybe there'll be no cameras in the courtroom. I don't know. Is it? Let me see if I can pull it up. Was it as of recent, B12? Yeah, I don't mind looking it up and try to see if we can pull it up. Oh, what the hell? Wait, let's play this video. It says Nick Reiner made chilling murder comments in a resurfaced video. I haven't seen this. And this is from, I think, 𝐸_Entertainment. I do find it's where I started watching my Kardashians back in the day, all of that, when I was a fan. Okay, let me play this clip. This is kind of creepy, and I'll look for that comedy one. Hey old days, and hey Anton, you're back. Okay, let me play this video real quick. This is interesting.
In jail, she has a boyfriend now who's in the military. He's actually dead. She's dying not right. I'm gonna go kill that.
Disturbing comments from Nick Reiner in 2016, nearly a decade before being charged with the murders of his parents, Rob and Michelle.
I got like 100 personality disorder.
Nick, who was arrested Sunday, is accused of using a knife to kill his parents at their LA home. That video, posted to his YouTube account in 2016, now resurfacing in the days following Rob and Michelle's deaths. There's no cohesive plot to the mockumentary, seemingly a riff on the style of his dad's masterpiece, This Is Spinal Tap.
Let's talk a little bit about the history of the group. I was in a group called the Creatures, which was a skiffle group.
We're wondering what. You know how long this interview is going to be?
Just a series of disturbing comments from the 32-year-old playing a character named David.
Well, I ain't going to tell you my first and last name. Most people know me as David.
Nick, who's battled drug addiction and mental illness most of his life, films himself smoking and shows off what appears to be illegal substances throughout the video.
You bought heroin off a transvestite?
His younger sister, Romy, who discovered their parents' bodies after the murders, even makes a cameo, puffing on what appears to be a cigarette.
No introduction. Jenny from the cul-de-sac.
Nick makes a chilling threat against an animal.
I'm gonna go kill that.
And seemingly predicted his own fate behind bars, where he currently sits without bail.
And you know what? You're gonna have to bail me out of jail.
Whoa. He could have just been high as a kite here too, but like, who says things like that? Yeah, exactly. Psychopaths are born, sociopaths are made. Exactly, ATS. In this industry too, you guys, I mean, we've seen it with Britney Spears. Do you see what I'm saying? Paris Hilton. I don't put anything past that there was some shit going on too. Okay, I found, this is B12. Let me know if this is what you're referring to. Billy Crystal on Rob Reiner's special interest in children. I have never seen this clip. It's a 3-minute clip, and I'll continue to look. Hopefully that's one of the ones B12 was talking about. This is freaky though. I've never seen this. Okay, let's play.
That felt like a spinal tap. You know, ladies and gentlemen, 8 years ago, Rob.
Yes.
Back when your weight was in triple figures, you roasted me in this very room.
That's fine.
And for those 8 years, some of you were here. He did a fantastic job, and as he does in everything that he does. But for 8 years, I've been plotting revenge. But I see that the aging process has already beaten me to it. And roast is such a perfect word for you because you're a brisket in a suit. Look at you. You're like Farouk. It's good they got a wide chair. You think someone as big as Rob in this industry and in this world would attract some bigger names to the roast. No, you guys are fantastic on both sides. No, I'm an okay name. Michael's a medium name, but some of them, listen, nobody has anything to do with you.
That's right.
On this roast. I mean, Dr. Ruth, Abe Vigoda, Freddie Roman, it's the Comedy Central Seniors Tour. I'm excited. Vincent Pastore is here. Big Pussy, Dr. Ruth, Tiny Pussy, they're here. But what does this have to do with you?
Not exactly. You're making a good point.
And Abe Vigoda, I love Abe Vigoda. I will not say anything bad about Abe Vigoda because I was always taught to speak well of the dead. And somebody... No, I'm glad you're here tonight, Abe. You're here tonight, Abe. Brett Butler, I'm so glad to see you. You know why she comes to the fries? Because old have narcotics with them. So, Mr. Big Shot director, good friend, where's all your pals? Where are the big wheels? I'm your pal, but where's the other guys you hang out with? Where's your Spielberg? Where's your Hanks? Where's Papa? Where's Mel? Because you're the 2,000-pound man. Where's Sweet Meg? Where is Meg? Not here. And she trusted you because she knew that nobody in the world had seen more fake orgasms than you. If I had said that right,
It would have gone a much bigger laugh. And yet,
should I do it again?
No.
No. I'll go back. And where's Meg? She so trusted you because nobody in the world has seen more fake I can't. So. There, take it. You gonna say it for me?
You can't order those by mail. You have to.
You have to go in.
Go in. Get them fitted. Get them.
All right, sit down.
All right.
Grease your sides and sit down. Where's Michael Douglas? Where's Michael? No Michael Douglas. Has an excuse. Catherine has homework.
Yeah, I don't find this funny, like this Billy guy. Thank you, Irony, for the super sticker. I appreciate you. You guys just said, yeah, I have it pulled up. Franken? I must not be into comedy at all because I don't think any of this is funny and I don't know who these people are. Okay, this one is warp joke about trafficking son. That's not even funny to joke with because that could be possible. I'm just saying. It's not like we never seen Hollywood rich people do freaky shit. Okay, let me play this.
Just a great time. Everybody's been really funny. I just don't want people to get the wrong idea that this is not really, Rob's favorite style of humor. What he really enjoys is what I do, which is far more substantive. But I have to tell you that Rob has devoted himself to seeing the kids from birth to age 3 get the kind of nurturing, intellectual stimulation, love, really, that will make them grow up to be a fully functional, happy person, unlike, say, Brett. And it's a great thing. Most people don't know where this comes from. And Rob doesn't like to talk about it because he's kind of a modest guy. But it comes out of his own personal experience. See, as a baby, Rob was routinely beaten by his father, Carl. Rob believes that this early physical abuse had a profound effect on him as an adult and led to the horrible failure of Ghosts of Mississippi.
I'm going to go for North on that line. Just curious.
Exactly. What possibly could explain North?
I helped him out.
On a typical night, Carl would slip into Rob's bed,
Jesus.
roll him over, swab him down, and say something like, I'm thinking about hiring Maury Amsterdam to play Buddy Sorrell. What do you think?
Am I like slow as hell? Because I missed the joke. I don't understand what the hell is going on.
Well, the success of the Dick Van Dyke Show changed things dramatically. Carl started inviting many of his famous friends to son.
Wait. Oh my God. Let me go back.
And that list includes some of the greats in comedy. Paul Lynde.
Wait.
Dom DeLuise.
Wait, I want to.
Paul Lynde.
I need to hear that part about the fun again.
And that list includes some of the greats in comedy. Carl started inviting many of his famous friends to son. And that list includes some of the greats in comedy.
Why would you even allow someone to joke about that?
Paul Lynde. Dom DeLuise. Rip Taylor. Danny Kaye. Charles Nelson Riley and Rock Hudson, whom I frankly don't think was that funny. Rob, I love you like a brother.
Wait a minute. Don't love me like a brother.
No, and all kidding aside, it's been a great evening, and thank you for doing so much to make sure that no other kid ends up like you.
Thank you, Al.
Yeah, to F his son. It's like Gypsy Rose all over again. This is how a comedy roaster, he's making a joke about Carl Reiner abusing. Yeah, I know. Sell that soul for fame. And he's laughing. That's what I mean by, and I'm not sitting here accusing any of the victims. I am not. I'm just saying we don't know what happened between this family, within this family. Roasts are always in bad taste. Graping kids, though, I draw the line. I draw the line between comedy and that. It's just disgusting. But it was back in the day, too. So I don't know. Wow. Well, that's a lot. That's a lot. And I'm curious, Holly Weird, exactly. Remember, Paris Hilton's parents made someone kidnap her. Yeah, Tom Brady wasn't even that bad. No wonder Nick has so many demons, not excusing what he did, but this is crazy, and I def have questions. I do too, B12. I do too. I might have to dig into this tonight. Everyone was horrified by Tom Brady's. Yeah, roaster bad taste in comedy. I just didn't think any of that was funny. Like, I didn't think any of that was funny. I didn't even understand the first one. Don't invite me to a comedy show because I'd probably be like, what? It was the old stuff comedy where nothing was off limits. It's a deep rabbit hole, and I'm willing to go into that rabbit hole, baby. Absolutely. Anyways, well, definitely we'll keep you guys updated on this. We'll stay on top of it. Before they knew we would be catching on. It wasn't funny. I agree. No, anything involving children is not funny. And if someone thinks that's funny, please seek yourself some mental help. There are resources, and I'll link them down below in the description. Anyways, aside from all of this, do you have another live scheduled? Yeah, I did, and I'm already past it. So I will push it back a little bit right now. We have a Gypsy Rose live. So thank you for being here. Please hit the like button. They never thought we would take it seriously. It wasn't about him abusing Nick. I know, but still, it's just like tasteless. Who wants to joke about being raped and abused? You know what I mean? Even if it did happen to Rob Reiner, I still don't think it's funny. Anyways, that was like a little bit of darkness. But anyways, so we saw the press conference. We read some articles. We'll keep updated on the Nick Reiner case. I think it was February 23rd or 26th. Don't knock me, but I'll absolutely post everything in the description. We'll stay on top of this case, do a little digging. Shout out to all of you guys for being here. Please hit the like button on the way out. It's about Carl. Ooh, I'll have to look into it. It seems like there's some family dark history there. Yeah, please hit the like button on the way out. Like I said, definitely keep updates on the page about the Nick Reiner case. RIP to the victims. I will see you guys shortly on the next one. Turn on your notifications because there are 2 more lives planned for today, and I will see you there. Bye. Thanks for hanging out.